The following is a presentation of the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.
You are listening to Audio Suplex Live.
Can we talk real quick about the Undisputed Era?
I don't even know how to hold this. Oh, there we go.
I like the Undisputed Era. I like the fact that it's like, hey, these guys are all ROH guys kind of thrown together.
Wait a minute. What's ROH?
But they kind of don't fit together as a stable. You have Adam Cole, who's basically like Shawn Michaels Jr. Who's like,
who's the first junior? Is that
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler is Shawn Michaels Jr. Then you have Adam Cole, who's Shawn Michaels Jr. Then you have Kyle O'Reilly, who's basically like a Star Wars villain on crack, because he's just wobbling around. He's got that weird walk that he has. And then you have
He does look like a diet like husk.
Then you have Bobby. Then you have Fish, who looks like in his free time he's a barber at like a really hip, like gentrified barber shop in the middle of. Like,
he definitely
hipster barber shop.
Who also bartends at night.
I was going to say he definitely runs like a speakeasy or something.
Yeah, he could definitely make you like a really
barber
good,
shop
like,
by the day,
Manhattan.
but hit that one button.
All he drinks is whiskey on the rocks. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's Bobby Fish. It's like such an eclectic group of dudes.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I like it. I mess with it, and I love Adam Cole.
they're the Ed and Eddie of wrestling.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Audio Suplex Live.
We're so live it hurts.
Baby, back on the air.
Back on the air.
We pulled the plug for a little bit. We took New Year's and everything like that to kind of get our bearings back under us and everything like that. Do you get bearings underneath you?
No, they're usually to the side.
Okay, well we
however
got
the wheels are applied, we're rolling now.
We're rolling. The tires are on the ground. The rubber is burning.
We're not a car podcast.
One would even say that we're on the road
To where?
to Wrestling Mania.
Oh, that's not until tonight.
We officially going. We're packing the bags. We're loading up the van.
We're double checking. Make sure we get the car charger.
We got the
And if you guys are like us,
oil changed.
we're here to help all of you wrestling fans who love listening to us on Audio Suplex Live. Pack the car up, get the kids ready, get the little
Don't
travel,
bring your kids.
Get the Travel Connect 4 out so that they can stay occupied in the back.
No, you don't need to bring them.
No, better not bring your
Save the time.
Yes,
You don't have to pack any of their
it's
crap.
PG now. You can bring the kids. It's fine.
It's our show.
Yeah.
It's our show.
We're not PG. WWE's PG. But we are officially kicking off the road to WrestleMania. This is our Royal Rumble 2018 preview special show, episode 42.
Sure.
42?
Sure.
Nice. Good number.
It's more than 42, but 42 is one of my favorite numbers.
It's a very good number.
I have a tattoo of the number 42.
Jackie Robinson.
That's not why I have it.
I can't think of anything that's in relations to 42.
It's the answer.
Also Chadwick Boseman.
the meaning
Breakout
of
performance in
life.
that film. Yeah.
The answer to life is 42.
Or was it 43? No, 43 was Jackie Robinson.
No.
Was it your 42nd tattoo?
I only have like 20 something.
Nice.
Just say yeah, man.
So-
It's not like we would have known. We don't know what's going on underneath there.
Let's get this off the table real quick, because I feel like we haven't sat down at the table with one another in obviously quite some time. I looked today, the last time that we had an episode was our year-end review with me and Corey. That was December 30th, right before the new year.
Almost a month ago.
I was deathly ill.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I had some stuff like right after Christmas. I had a common cold, and then it just and on for weeks.
We were talking about that. You said your colds hit you like a brick in the face. Like you get like one a year, and then like you're out for like 3 weeks. You're just like,
that's straight up what it was. I
debilitating.
started feeling better last week, and I'm all good now this week.
See, this is perfect because now you're a surprise entrant. You're making your return back after like 3 weeks on the shelf. You know, number 30 hits.
Yeah,
and
we're
then,
going to have a rumble where we have to throw each other out of the door of the of the studio office here.
Let me get the Santino Morella spot where I just throw myself out, basically. I'll see myself out. So how's everybody been? How's you guys' 2018 been so far?
Busy.
I know you're working a lot, man. You've been putting in the hours,
Make that cheddar.
getting that daddy money.
Yeah.
I'm just in and out of the office. Like I was sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But the light skin dream is back. So.
Light skin dream.
Hashtag.
Are you on board yet or no?
With?
Velveteen Dream.
He's pretty good.
God Almighty! Welcome aboard,
Light
man.
skin dream.
Yeah. He's pretty good. I like him.
DREAMPs.
I gotta buy.
Velvet.
I should buy a shirt. I just bought him. I spent $54 on Wednesday on wrestling T-shirts.
I spent $50
like me of video games.
I bought a NWO white shirt.
Remember?
I bought a Roman Reigns shirt for $12. The one that says from ashes to
I love
something.
that one.
I don't know. And then I got...
That's one of my resolutions this year.
What was the other one I bought? I told you about. Oh, Rusev Day.
Yes.
That was the one I really wanted.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
I got on. I was like, we were talking about Rusev Day at work, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a Rusev Day shirt.
By the way, happy Rusev.
Oh yeah,
Day,
today
everybody.
is Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day. How
Day.
did we forget, Joe? Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day, Joe.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So I ordered those, and then
Nice.
I realized I really want to get a Heath Slater. I got kids
That's a good one
shirt
to have too.
because
a
it's
good one.
plain.
You could put like a silver duct tape over the S.
I got kid.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys.
Oh,
No,
Whoa.
no.
World
right.
premiere, breaking news. No. You got the news drop ready for that one?
I'm just kidding.
Coming soon to a podcast studio near you, Rusev Reister.
We're not having a baby. The news already broke.
There's no news.
There's no news. There is if you watch plenty of New Japan, but we won't get into that too much.
Let's not.
But
Yeah.
We
might
got a lot
save
of
it for
Rumble
the
things to
end.
do.
We got a lot.
The show cannot be longer than an hour this week. I have things to do.
Corey is cooking
People to
up
see.
ribs for us tonight for the Royal Rumble, boys.
It's lit.
Rumble ribs.
It's lit.
Rumble ribs.
I'm going to be in a comatose state come this evening. It's gonna be
I
good.
might make some Samoa
I hope
Joes.
they're good. We're talking about these ribs. I hope they turn out all right.
They'll be all right, man. You are a wonderkind in the kitchen.
So,
I mean, it's kind of your job, like 3
Yeah.
places all over the city. If you don't know how to make ribs, dog, yeah, it's time to leave.
I do have to take a brief second. You said you spent $50 on wrestling shirts. I spent $50 in Philadelphia Eagles paraphernalia yesterday. Not that I don't already have a ton to begin with.
You just needed to,
I have to gloat for a second, guys. 2018. I said it earlier on my Twitter. You guys can follow me at xDrTX. 2018 has been a banner year for the kid, guys, and we're gonna kick it off with the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to make any bold predictions saying that they're going to win the Super Bowl. And I'm the kind of fan that's
I hope they do.
It's honestly a pleasure for me and my team to just be there. Like, I'm just hyped that they're back in that action. When nobody
It must be great.
It's
it must
fantastic.
be one of the best feelings.
we
that
were
you can
hoping
have.
that next Sunday we would be bringing you a Super Bowl special Audio Suplex Live where Corey's Jacksonville Jaguars
Jaguars.
were taking on my Philadelphia Eagles. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. They will get back to the
It
dance.
was meant to be, but plans were changed.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, it's just
Sorry about your damn luck.
it's sports entertainment, man. You know it's rigged. The Patriots have been in it for how many years consecutively?
Not actual news.
No, not
Well, they've been in 7 consecutive AFC title games.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So, which is
nuts.
insane. But speaking of football, real quick, before we get to the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
XFL.
Ah,
Vince McMahon getting the stones out and saying,
see
you
on
know,
that.
this thing that I really screwed up a couple years ago that everybody laughs at.
I'm surprised he didn't just try to come up with a new name.
Did you hear the reason why?
Why?
They asked him during the press conference, why not, rebrand it as something else? And he was like, well, we were kicking around names and stuff like that, but we kept coming back to the XFL brand, and it's recognizable.
You don't have
and,
to do the voice.
I have
No,
to
it's
do the
actually
voice.
pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. It's a recognizable brand. People know what the XFL is, and then he kind of chuckles. He goes, plus it's a pretty cool name. Cool, Vince.
pretty much.
Got an X in it, It's pretty damn cool.
Now, we also
I
gotta
wanted to
keep
call
in
it
mind,
XXX, but I didn't.
operated by a separate company.
Yes,
so
it is.
everybody that's afraid of like, oh, he should have focused on something else, or
I watched the
it's going
entirety.
to tank WWE. It's had nothing to do with WWE.
If anything, it'll improve WWE because
I've-
I won't be spending as much time.
I've watched the no shit. I've watched the entire press conference for it. A couple takeaways from it are that there are no cities or teams formally announced. So as much
The old teams aren't coming back.
as excited as I am to get out my New York, New Jersey Hitman jersey for the upcoming XFL 2020 season, I may not be able to because there may not be a franchise.
You
in
can
that
still
market.
wear it.
I'll probably still wear
Be a
it.
vintage fan. You'd be
Yeah.
that guy. You'd
Yeah,
be wearing a
throwback.
throwback.
This
Yeah.
guy has. Oh my god, this guy's.
But he also did announce that there is going to be no crossover between the WWE and the XFL. So
Good.
no commentators coming over from WWE to commentate XFL football or anything like that.
Right.
No talent swapping or anything like that. We won't see Roman Reigns, in 7 XFL championship games in a row or anything like that. Much to his chagrin.
Is this predetermined football?
I don't think it's predetermined. I think it's predetermined to be interesting.
Exciting.
Yes.
And got to keep in mind it's 2020, so we got some time to let it bake.
Yeah,
it's just an announcement. People are freaking out. It's just an announcement.
During the press conference too, it was really weird because like it was like a phone press conference where like this coordinator would like patch in different members of the media and stuff like that. One person asked, "Are there any teams or cities announced currently?" And Vince goes, "No. There's no teams or anything announced yet. We're just announcing that we're bringing back the XFL." And then I swear to God, 6 other people asked the exact same question. It's like, come on, guys.
What about teams?
You're the professional. But do you have any cities that you're interested in or anything?
I know you said that there was no
My
teams
recorder
yet,
was off.
but
I didn't get the answer.
So I was actually sleeping earlier when somebody else asked this question. So I'm interested. My interest is peaked. It's going to run in spring. It's going to run from like late January, February to March or something like that. They said it's going to be 8 teams inaugurally,
right?
10-game regular season. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good time.
8 teams, 10 regular season games.
I'm trying to do the math right now.
Like you got to play every team a couple times. So your Super Bowl or whatever, your main game, you could have potentially played that team 2 times that season already.
Yeah, probably. Interesting. So
let's talk about Rumble.
Let's talk about the Royal Rumble. We have
There's a lot of matches.
Huge for a Royal Rumble match. I know some of these are obviously going to be.
3 of them are on the pre-show as far as has been reported thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got a lot.
I didn't know of any of these matches existing until yesterday. I looked it up, and I'm like, I didn't see any of these being announced. But I don't really check WWE.com every day, so
you got to figure that you're going to have the show probably bookended by because you now have 2 30 participant Rumble matches, so those are going to have to bookend the show. You're going to have to squeeze 1 or 2 in between.
So
there.
I was talking about this. I don't remember where I read it. Someone had said that they had thrown out the idea of doing the Women's Rumble at the beginning of the show, but started on the pre-show. So you get the beginning of the Women's Rumble is at the end of the pre-show. Yeah. For those people that aren't subscribed that are watching for free, they're getting into the Rumble match. Oh, okay, now you have to sign up if you want to continue watching the Rumble.
So we're going to use women to blue ball the viewer.
Maybe.
But
potentially,
if they booked it right, they booked it right, and they had like a huge surprise return, like right as it's about to go.
On the next episode.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, you have Lita come out with 2 minutes left of the pre-show.
Yeah, and
she starts tearing up, and then the screen goes black. $9.99.
You get the little bug at the bottom there, and then Tommaso Ciampa comes out and murders everybody.
I don't think they'll do that
with a crutch,
but I can see that working. I could see that being an idea that may have been thrown out.
What if they shock the system and lead the show
with the men's rumble?
With the men's rumble,
no. Then those guys got to wrestle their match after the rumble.
Yeah,
no.
Who's to say?
Let's start with the first pre-show match. The most exciting one, the only one for a championship title on the pre-show. Bobby Roode is having an open challenge. Who do you guys think would make the most sense challenging Bobby Roode on the pre-show?
Kenny Omega. He literally goes from one U.S. title to another. Just straight up, catches a red eye, comes in. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, listen, to be on the pre-show of the Royal Rumble.
Listen,
and then he's not in the Rumble match later.
at all.
He's like, I gotta go back to Japan. I got something to do tomorrow.
Listen here, you filthy marks. If you think, and this isn't for you guys, we already talked about this before the show went on air. If you think for 1 second that Kenny Omega is making an appearance in tonight's Royal Rumble match, get your head checked. Stop watching wrestling.
But can you say it is possible?
No.
He signed to 2019, and it takes almost an entire day to get across the world.
Not if he goes the other way around. He'll follow the time.
Oh my God! Now we're talking about Jesus Christ. Kenny Omega, time traveler now, taking Kushida's gimmick and just running with it. No, there is no way Kenny Omega shows up in this god darn Rumble.
Okay, that's not what I asked though. I asked who do you think Bobby Roode is?
If you think it's anybody but Dolph Ziggler, you don't watch wrestling.
It's not going to be Dolph Ziggler.
Not.
Why would Dolph Ziggler give up his U.S. title to just come back and say, you know what, I do want it?
Have you watched WWE?
He said, I don't want it. Dolph Ziggler, I think, will be in the Men's Royal Rumble.
Have you watched?
Because he wants the WWE title. He doesn't want the U.S. title. That'll be his storyline.
Jinder Mahal rematch.
Okay, fine. If we're not
then
going,
if he's coming back, he's not going to come back for the belt that he said he doesn't want.
If we're not going with,
he's not going to do that. He already said and proved that he doesn't care about that belt.
I give you three options.
So if you are a mark and think that Dolph Ziggler's music's going to hit,
here we go. No, he doesn't have music anymore. He just comes out to that
that record scratch.
Well, first of all, his music does start, and then it
I'm here to show the.
Yeah.
So, no, I would give you 3 choices. I'm going to go, the most logical choices would probably be either, I'm going to go with Mojo Rawley because they're pushing him pretty hard right now, especially after that breakup.
Jinder Baron.
Jinder Mahal. I can see Baron Corbin as well.
Baron hasn't really been doing anything the last couple of weeks.
Ty Dillinger.
That's who I was thinking. But the problem with that, I thought, he's a face. Bobby's a face.
Not on the house show circuit.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he has been working heel.
He's been working
heel.
heel.
You're right. That would be good.
This would be a good way to reintroduce people
and
to
then
a new Ty
this
Dillinger.
could be, if he really heals it up, when number 10 comes out, maybe they won't be chanting for him to be number 10.
Right.
Because they've turned on him like, oh, well, he sucks. What is it?
And there's one way to get him heat, and that's have him go over Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
Have him win the U.S. title?
Yeah. And then come
on
out
the pre-show of the Rumble?
And then come
Why
out
not?
And then come out at number 11.
That's mid.
And then come out at 11?
Trolling.
Oh, man.
Because he turned it up.
He is the perfect 11.
He turned
He's
it up.
turning it up to 11.
He's not perfect 10
He said
anymore.
10 wasn't enough for me anymore. I got to turn it up to 11.
He's got a championship
I heard
belt.
Andrade
and then we
Cien
changed
Almas was trying to get a 100-man Rumble going so that he could be number 100.
Cien. Oh, my God.
He comes in at 10 anyway.
Yeah.
And they add a 0 on there.
No, I feel like if they are going to go forward with a heel Ty Dillinger, even if he doesn't win the belt, would be a good way to reintroduce him into this fray of SmackDown. Was he in the tournament? I can't remember. No. So he's been off TV for a while. People are not.
I think that's the best answer. Is
Ty Dillinger. Would be
that's how you
choice.
get him back on, because the SmackDown roster is kind of thin right now, despite how it looks. They don't have a whole lot of story that is.
Well, this is where we're going to possibly get some NXT guys coming up.
I don't want to see people get called up and just not get used. That's heartbreaking.
Well, the problem is, like, all 3 rosters are getting to the point now where it's kind of bloated. I mean,
you need to do this stable idea.
And also,
if you're part of a stable and someone in your stable is involved in a storyline,
well, then you're just watching New Japan. Like, you're just, at that point,
that's
you're just
smart, though.
But it's incredibly smart.
I like that kind of wrestling. I like that people group up and you kind of have like a gang warfare type deal.
Vince McMahon is deathly afraid of factions. He just does not like people being in factions. And if they are, it's not for long.
I mean, there's some big ones that have worked, though.
What is the last big, truly groundbreaking faction that has worked in WWE? The Nexus?
League of Nations.
League
of Nations worked.
Hardly.
It did. They didn't give him the chance for that.
It worked like Pop Rocks and a Coke, man. It was a fizzle for a little bit, and then you
could
just
have worked
got
a lot better if the booking was better.
Yeah, and if Alberto Del Rio wasn't a garbage human being,
and if Wade Barrett wasn't injured.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't get
It didn't get
that chance to fully take off because
you have three-man groups.
But it worked when it was live.
3-man groups are a big thing in WWE right now, and I like that. I like that they have a 3-man kind of thing going on.
3-man works,
but
we all know that you're into 3 men at the same time.
I want like a good old 5, 6. F it, give me a 7-man faction somewhere, and you can even have it go cross brands. You can have people like represent.
I like the idea
faction.
of like one big faction, and then you have these smaller factions kind of try to chip away, and then eventually the storyline is they'll come together to defeat this evil.
You have a big faction, and then you have like a subgroup that would be like the elite of that faction, is what you're basically saying.
So you have the elite and you have the Bullet Club.
Yeah,
that's not
exactly what you were saying.
No.
So yeah, no, I
would say you have something like the NWO, and then you have like maybe
the NWOB squad, like a
separate.
Two entirely.
The bad guys are a big faction, and then you have like 3 small good guy factions.
So it'd be like
that
the NWO
take turns trying to fight them off, and then they get together.
A mega faction
for like Survivor Series. I don't know.
The Pangea.
Not just a temporary alliance between those teams.
I like it.
This has nothing to do with the Royal Rumble.
Ty Dillinger,
we're all locking it in. I don't think he's going to win though. I say Bobby.
It'd be
Roode
interesting.
Retains.
Yeah, Bobby Roode needs a little bit of a run with the belt before we drop it to Stan.
You think Bobby Roode retains?
Yeah,
Ajax?
I think he retains, but I'd be very interested in it.
This could be an interesting way to.
I say there's no way it's Dolph.
We could do the heel turn on the pre-show because, like, obviously the television viewing crowd isn't aware. A lot of them aren't aware that Ty Dillinger has been working heel on the house show circuit. Comes out, he answers the open challenge that Bobby Roode has. loses the match, gets frustrated,
And
and
then
then
goes
goes
to town.
ham. And then he
beats him up after
Yeah.
or something, or
like
rips up a sign from a fan like, I hate number 10 now.
Yeah, puts him in like a Kimura lock on the apron or something like that. Or,
I only like 5s.
aligns himself with Shayna Baszler. What do you
Yeah.
do?
Let's talk about the next match. We have the Club
King of
taking
Tens.
on the Revival on
Club.
the pre-show.
Nothing really to say here except for I would love to see the Revival get their win back from Raw 25 because that was just it was exactly what we knew it was going to be and it's exactly what we didn't want it to be. It was a burial of the Revival. They needed somebody to come out so that they could have that huge nostalgia pop with.
But is that a burial though? If it serves the purpose
they're
of just putting over a cameo,
it's not a burial if they get their win back tonight.
right.
If they don't get their win back tonight and they keep pushing the Club as this like, but then again, both teams could really use that win.
I think the Club is winning because they're going to be next in line for the tag belts. They're aligned with Finn Balor, who is top of the card guy. He's one of the favorites to win the Rumble tonight.
Is he over?
I don't know if he's over.
I don't think he's over enough.
I haven't heard the report back on that, but we're looking into if he's over or not. And if he is, then they should get the tag belts.
Yeah. And then that would be a cool little thing to have Finn at the top of the card and then them holding the
He posted a picture of the action figure versions of them, him having the Universal title and them having the
it would be
Raw
a
tag belts.
with the color scheme of those belts across the board, by the way, it would be a super cool look to have like the Universal belt and then both the tag belts on either side, especially with Finn
the
being
red,
like
and they can do the red. Finn wears red. The Club can start wearing their red gear.
Oh, that'd be good. I like that. I like that a lot.
Red accents though. You got big red belts. You really don't need
right.
red.
Not
Black,
like
black.
black with the red. Yeah.
Now we're getting into color.
tertiary colors here.
Now we're getting into color design, guys. And this
what
is
kind of shoes do you think they should wear?
Oh God! Don't gimmick infringe on the Usos. They got the shoe game on lock.
So I said the Club. You said the Club, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying the Revival.
No, I'm saying I want the Revival to win, but it's probably going to be the Club because that is actually a more likely scenario than, the Revival getting their win back. The Revival will get back though. Get them some time. Let them kind of
they
give
need
them
the
a
time
story.
to get
let them
back.
stew a little bit. There's really nothing for them right now. Unfortunately, injuries kind of hit them at the wrong point, and they kind of lost.
And kind of coming back at the wrong point.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Yeah, we
when
got a couple
Raw's-
months to Mania, but
We've been bemoaning Raw's tag team division for a while, but I think now it's really starting to get to the point where it's starting to pick up some traction. You got the Club starting to pick up some wins. You got them aligned with Finn Balor. You have this unlikely pairing between Seth Rollins and
Jason
Kurt Angle's son.
Jason Angle.
My black son.
You're starting to get a little bit of a feel there. There's starting to be the Club, or not the Club, but the bar is still going pretty strong. Like
I love going to the bar.
who are you telling?
All right, let's go to our final pre-show match. We have Team Masked Guys. We have Kalisto, Lince Dorado, and Gran Metalik taking on Team Bad Guys, or Team Baddies, as I like to call them. TJP, Gentleman Jack, and Drew Gulak.
Did you guys see that Drew Gulak on Twitter nominated Clippy from Microsoft Word, as the 205 Live GM?
That's perfect.
I'm all on board. If
So this is the 205 Live showcase.
So
I don't think it really matters who wins.
Team Lucha.
Team Lucha, I think that they need a face win here.
They're building up TJP's frustration. He's
Gulak-
come back. He's been.
Where's
taking
Tony
L's.
Nese? Winner of the Rumble?
Yeah. Do you not have that booked in as your winner of the
I do have that booked in. Yes, so.
He's going to come in at number 8.
Oh.
He's got 8 reasons.
I am the perfect 8.
Look at that.
He should come out at 8.
He should come out at 8.
They should just do that. If anyone has a gimmick with a number and it's 30 or less,
At least on their first Royal Rumble ever.
you got it. No, if the smart money
You want
is,
to come in at number 10 every time, or number 8 at every
well, yeah, the smart money is get a gimmick with the number 30 and just run with it. Like, if you're really smart, somebody out there needs to start thinking about it.
I was watching some factoids about the Rumble this morning. Actually, in history, only 3 men
have won from
have
30.
won from number 30.
Yeah.
It's you would think it would be a huge advantage, but it turns out
And
that
one
the
of
match
them-
is predetermined, so
and one of them
the
was-
number doesn't matter.
Just 2 years ago, when Triple H won the WWE title, was one of those times.
The other
so
two
it just
were
happened.
John Cena when he returned,
Did Edge come in 30?
and who was the other one? I can't remember.
Yeah, John Cena, when he came back, he was supposed to be injured for like another 6 months.
Yeah, he came back and won at number 30, and then I can't remember who the other. Ooh, it's escaping.
Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
But that's nice factoid.
I'm gonna give the W to Team Bad Guys just because I think without Enzo Amore or Eric Arndt in the fold anymore, they really need to find a face to represent the brand, not necessarily a baby face, but a face to represent the brand. And I think the most likely candidate out of the 6 of those is Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak has done an amazing job getting himself over in the past 6 or 7 months. And I think this is maybe the start of a situation where we can see him kind of like becoming like the face of 205 Live. Until
I like that. I liked what Ajax said better.
Until King Ricochet, Trevor Mann.
I like saying the mask guys win, and the frustration with TJP lends itself to the tournament that they're probably going to have for the cruiserweight title. So he'll be frustrated with one of those 2 guys, and that will end up being his match in the tournament.
Because that was his match. That's what's been happening the past several weeks anyway. He's
Right,
been
so
teaming
maybe
up with 2 random dudes, and he gets pinned and blames everybody else.
Right.
And
Can we go back to when we were talking about TJP being homeless and wearing his key around his neck? I like that TJP a lot better.
that was TJ Perkins.
That's
yeah.
a different wrestler.
Yeah, never heard of him.
This guy, doesn't he comb his hair over now?
Yeah.
Suicide.
So we got 2 masks and a baddie. Let's move
Can
into
it not be team baddies, though?
No, I like it. Roll with it. Team Baddies.
team baddies.
All I think of are like light-skinned women with like
See, I
bodycon
don't know
dresses.
that term. So when I hear baddies, I do not think of that.
My man. Going out my baddies tonight.
Well, let's open with
Gone off the Henny.
Team baddies is like the PG era hoe train. Just saying.
Yeah.
perfect. That's a great gimmick for these gentlemen.
Got off the Zo train onto the hoe train. Let's go.
All right, 2018, very first time ever, Women's Royal Rumble match. What are your guys' thought? Who do you think we're going to see in this match, and who do you think is going to win?
I wish I could
Women's
give you
Rumble?
a solid pick purely because I really don't know where they're pulling like everyone out.
The rumor is 9 NXT superstars will be in the Rumble.
Okay.
That's pretty much.
Again,
All
almost
of
a
them.
necessity at this point.
I'm sure we'll have a couple no-name people, possibly. Maybe people that only wrestled a handful of times on
We're
NXT.
definitely seeing the iconic duo.
oh, hands
We'll
down.
probably see some people from the women's Mae Young Classic, possibly.
Yeah.
Like everybody would want to say like Asuka, but I think Asuka's getting too pumped up about it. I really don't think
She
taking
stood
it.
tall on Raw.
Now, there was a report that came out the other day that Ronda Rousey said that she was not formally signed with WWE.
She also said she's in Colombia.
and she
Yeah,
says she's
she's
going to be in
shooting.
Colombia. But this is not
For
the
like
first
2
time
months.
that somebody has said,
Right.
hey, I'm not going to be here. And then guess what? They're there.
Ah,
AJ Styles did it his year that he
pulled my
debuted in the
string.
Rumble. Yeah.
The Hardy Boys at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
We're
they-
not going to be there. We're wrestling a match.
The night before. Like
Right.
a ladder match.
Weren't they at like?
They wrestled that day.
Supercard?
They
were
wrestled that
Supercard of
day.
Honor. Yeah.
They wrestled that day,
Yeah.
that afternoon.
Yeah. And then they came back and won the titles. It was great.
I did.
was there.
Supercard.
They were-
Supercard of Honor. is on
No,
the
I
same
can't remember
day?
what it was called. It was the night before where they took on the Bucks in the ladder match.
Yeah, I just thought they did their stuff on Saturdays. I didn't know it was the same day.
It was that because you know how like WrestleMania
It was
weekend,
it was
like,
some other
everybody-
wrestling promotion, probably.
Everybody runs shows that weekend.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
big time.
So-
It's gonna be lit down there in knowledge.
So you thinking Rousey is she's gonna do it? It's kind of a riskier pick now that she said that because it was like
I've
2
watched-
days ago. She's like, I'm getting on a plane right now to fly to Colombia till February.
I've watched wrestling enough to feel like Ronda Rousey is probably working us right now.
And I don't really think any of the major ladies that are already on the major programs really need it, like Becky Lynch does it.
Especially because I keep looking at the WrestleMania card, and I know how Vince McMahon likes to pull in names for WrestleMania.
for sure.
Charlotte Rousey
ESPN tomorrow.
is your
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey is going to WrestleMania. She is going to face Charlotte Flair,
the WWE
the daughter
Women's
of Ric
Champion.
Flair, who you may remember we did a 30 for 30 on recently. Like, it just writes itself too well. That's like a publicity gold mine. Like,
Yeah.
I want to say Asuka, but it's got. I don't remember what I sent you for my pick. Last
Oh,
night.
did you submit your actual picks?
No.
Oh.
It was more of like a test run. But
Yeah, I'll
like,
delete them and you can do new ones.
yeah, I'm pretty much in on Rousey winning it.
Wow. I love that.
Your final four.
Sure.
Well, I mean, let's talk about
Let's
the
do
Rumble.
let's do our picks. Yeah. So you did Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
I really don't know who to say on the women's match because I
feel like this
know
is
who's in it, and I can't expect who.
Anyone on the main roster that's a woman, and then assume probably any big name in NXT that's
you
not
said
Ember
nine
Moon.
NXT names. So
That's what they said.
we're talking
And
Kairi
then
Sane.
that leaves 3 openings for old wrestlers or people that we don't know.
So 9 NXT people or women. Who are we going to pick? Are we saying like? I'm assuming Kairi Sane.
Yep.
I would assume
Nikki
Nikki
Cross.
Cross. I would assume
What those girls?
the iconic duo. So
Yep.
that's 4 right there.
Yeah. What's the girl that's like a sailor girl? What's her name?
Kairi Sane. I already said
No,
that.
not her. Lacey Evans.
yeah.
Oh, Lacey Evans would be a good choice.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler.
Yep, Shayna Baszler.
She just lost.
She can
last
help
night, so-
Rousey win.
That would be a really good.
She
way
did
to,
the 4 horsewomen. She did the 4 at the end of that
Yeah.
match last night.
Give me Dakota Kai just because I want to see Dakota Kai on my television
was
all
that
the
7?
time.
Yep.
You got 2 more.
It could be someone that we've never seen too.
We could have
Who was in the Mae Young?
Abby Lathe.
What about the Bianca girl? She got the
Bianca
hair.
Belair would be a great choice.
Yeah.
I'm all in on Bianca Belair.
So I think like it's not.
Candice LeRae might be too
Possibly.
soon. I mean, she definitely got an introduction last night at Takeover.
She's
so-
It's not like she doesn't
in
know how
town.
to move. NXT's a formality, really.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, put me down for Rousey. I think my final 4 are going to be Rousey. You're going to have Asuka. You're going to have Becky Lynch, who I think is going to be the Iron Woman of because they love to put her in that underdog.
Right.
You know, she'll be like number 1 or 2 and go through the entire. Rumble.
I feel that same way, but not with Becky Lynch.
Who?
Bailey. Bailey's number 1. She gets eliminated in the final 2.
Really? She's like one of the last 2. Bailey versus like Rousey.
She gets
or something like that.
tossed. Like it comes down to final 3 is Bailey, Rousey, and Baszler. They're like, oh, we got Bailey, and Bailey gets Shayna. What's her name? Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler out.
And then Rousey gets Bailey out. And
That'd be a good win.
you get heel heat on
Baszler and Rousey. Yeah.
That's how I'd book my final 3. Who else would I throw in there?
Nia Jax has got to make it to the final 4.
I don't think so.
She is also my pick for the most eliminations.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would have Asuka then back there too. Or
I say Asuka.
This is tough.
Final 4 is Asuka, Nia Jax, Rousey, and
Someone from SmackDown, hopefully.
Becky Lynch. Those are my final 4 right there.
You know, I'll just say Asuka for giggles.
What if we had a Raw, a SmackDown, an NXT, and then Ronda Rousey, who's not on a brand?
Who would
Final
be the
4.
NXT choice?
Can you imagine the commentary team?
Nikki would last.
Nikki Cross is a good choice too. I don't know.
She could be all crazy and do some middle rope stuff and be out for a minute and then come back in.
The worst part about this is I feel like the women's rumble is easier to fantasy book than the men's rumble. Because you know it's going to be either Asuka or...
I'm thinking WWE likes to swerve us. They do. Especially on
They have a
Rumble.
whole show
Especially on
about
the
it on the
Rumble.
WWE
Yeah,
Network.
especially the Rumble.
Which is why Roman Reigns is winning again this year.
Exactly. You can say that you want this to happen or you think this is going to happen, and they love to sweep the rug out from under you. So having Asuka, I think something's going to happen with Asuka where she gets eliminated by someone else gets eliminated. Maybe Nia Jax gets upset that Asuka was able to pick her up and throw her out. Nia Jax comes back in and throws Asuka out when she's not paying attention.
I feel like that would be a good program for Mania as well.
And then you can
Jax
set
versus
that
Asuka.
up, and they can be for the number 1 contender after Mania or whatever, or even for the next pay-per-view. You can lead that up to, I don't know.
Or you could do how they've been doing and just add unnecessary people into matches that are already made.
That's true.
Kane.
Fluff it up.
So I think Asuka's going to get eliminated before the Final 4.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
By means something like that.
Interesting.
And I think, yeah.
I'm just trying to think of how those big matches would get made for Mania because this is what sets that up.
But you also got to remember that I think we each have like 1 brand pay-per-view in between now, or 2 or 3 brand pay-per-views.
You got
between.
Chamber on the
2
25th.
Raws and a SmackDown.
Yeah, so we have time to, because the belt can move around between now and Mania to set stuff up as well. So like, doesn't really matter.
Well, Rousey's going for the SmackDown title anyways.
Yes, which would be huge for SmackDown. What a huge coup that would be. SmackDown gets Ronda Rousey.
So I'm picking Rousey as my main pick. My dark horse would be Bailey.
Okay, I like it.
Your dark horse is Becky Lynch.
No, she's not winning.
Oh, okay.
No,
Who would be your second
In
pick?
my opinion, it's either
Asuka.
It's Asuka or Rousey.
Okay.
Those are the 2.
What do you think, Ajax?
That's it.
Rousey or Asuka?
Yeah, that's it.
Who's your number 1?
Asuka.
It's hard to say Rousey because you don't know. for sure she's in the match.
I'm all in on Rousey.
I don't know why I'm saying Bailey, but I think that could be a good swerve.
Getting that big first L at Mania.
I'll take it, man. No, if Rousey goes to Mania, no, yeah, she's taking the L.
Let's talk about the
There's no way they're putting her
SmackDown
over at Charlotte Mania.
SmackDown Tag Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls. We have the champs, the Usos, taking on Gable and Benjamin.
I'm actually very excited for this one.
It's lower on my expectations, but I'm real excited about.
I like what they do, and they could put on a hell of a show for 1 fall.
Hopefully.
Now you got to go for 2,
3, potentially 3.
Yeah,
falls.
out of 3 falls. Yeah.
It's going to go to 3 falls.
Yeah,
They always
do.
But maybe that's the swerve. Maybe it will only be 2 falls.
Oh man, like an
Who you gonna
emphatic
bury?
win from Sheldon.
Yeah, with
And-
the Uso.
and
Well,
Ga-
the Uso, he just got a DUI, right?
Did he?
Does that matter?
Well, hell, I mean, you got to get a little bit of punishment.
Was
Don't
that when
do
they were
anymore.
vacationing at Orlando Studio or
Yeah, when you could
Universal
win that trip.
Studios? had a few too Mai Tais at the man-made beach.
A little too lit at Margaritaville.
I'm
you got?
excited from this match from the match perspective because I think all 4 of those guys are incredibly talented. The Usos have they're peanut butter. You can put them with anything and they're just going to deliver. Like it's going to be fantastic.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Put it on a burger with some bacon.
I've had it.
No,
It's
that
fantastic.
actually would work.
It's
Yeah.
good.
It's good.
It's good.
Shit.
I've had
It's
that. You've
good.
had that with me.
Excuse me. You
I
guys
mean, I've had that in the restaurant I used to work at. Used to have that.
Yeah,
so.
super good. The Usos can literally, they're like the AJ Styles of the tag division. You put them in there with anything and it's going to be a good result.
Who do you got and why?
The Usos are retaining because they're the Usos.
Okay.
Because they're the freaking Usos.
I'll go next. I have the Usos winning as well. I think they're turning Gable and Benjamin kind of heel. They've been working kind of heel, saying some
for the past
stuff
4
about
weeks. Yeah.
exactly. So the Usos are going in as even though they're also heel, they're over with the crowd, so they're more of the baby face. I think they're going to lose their belts to their next opponents, which are the Bludgeon Brothers. So you want to have the face-ish Usos take on the Bludgeon Brothers as opposed to a new heel team.
We haven't had
taking
brothers on in the
not-
past couple of weeks. What's going on with that?
Not to mention,
They've been on every week except for this past Tuesday.
I thought it's been 2 weeks.
Their matches are only 2 minutes.
entirely-
They must have forgot about it.
It is entirely within the realm of possibility that we will see the Authors of Pain coming up at some time really soon here as well.
Yep.
Now,
With that loss, I was like, see you Tuesday.
I immediately my thought was SmackDown, but then you have the Bludgeon Brothers who already kind of occupy that hot
I can
tag
see
team.
it on
and Rob definitely
Raw
makes
would be a
sense.
good spot for them. Build them up a little bit, get them acclimated.
Ellering cutting 6
And
Any
promos.
revival to them.
And there are people who are speculating. Now, I would not like to see AOP separated
What if they
from
did-
Paul Ellering, but there are people speculating that another trio team that could possibly pop up would be with Samoa Joe and the AOP.
And then Paul Ellering is with War Machine.
Well, Paul Ellering just sits back and manages all 3 of them.
I know.
Well, he can just.
You don't like Paul Ellering? Precious Paul?
He used to be pretty good.
Wow.
I can imagine
Hot take.
He's just getting old. What's
Hot
he doing?
take.
He's not doing much.
Okay,
Heel Corey-
and Ric Flair's getting old.
Joe, can I get a news drop?
No.
Nope,
The
I cannot get a news drop.
No worries. What's
What's
the news? It's okay. We're wasting
this
time.
joke,
I cannot
this joke
be here
is already
past
dead.
2
I was
o'clock,
gonna
so we
say
need to stop.
breaking news. Heel Corey shoots on Paul Ellering. Tune in live. To
What does that mean? I did not shoot anybody.
From the hip. All right, moving on. Raw tag team titles, Corey. What do you got?
Wait, what did you say? Who's winning? Gable, Benjamin, or
I
the
was
Usos?
I was thinking it was the time for the turn. It's time to drop. So
Drop
yeah,
the bell. Okay, so we got
the
Usos
Olympians,
all right, sweet.
the amateurs.
Raw Tag Team Championships.
That's why they're not winning. They're amateurs.
Seth Rollins,
Professional wrestling.
Jason Jordan taking on The Bar. I'm probably least excited about this match.
Yeah, I really don't care.
A lot of that has to do with Jason Jordan.
Well, that's why we need some fresh blood on Raw's tag team division.
I think they're retaining.
I think they're
retaining.
retaining as well.
They're going to retain.
Let us not commiserate too long on this.
Yeah.
There's not really a story
The
there.
split's not happening yet. Essentially, Jason Jordan's taking the role of Dean Ambrose. So the split was going to be there. So now we're going to have the split. Probably WrestleMania is going to be Jason Jordan versus Seth Rollins. That's what I'm thinking.
That's sad
But
for
that's
Seth
like
Rollins.
2.5 months out. So
For the resurrected
they can't do the
European
split
title.
yet. The split can't happen yet. Let's hope not.
Special guest referee D'Lo Brown.
What? AJ versus Cammy?
By the way, can we stop trying to make Cammy a thing? I'm so tired of that.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
AJ Styles is a smart man, and if he wants to call him Cammy, I'm behind it 100%.
AJ Styles,
Cammy, it is.
AJ Styles is a lot of things. I don't know if connected to the youth of today is one of those things.
No, it connects to the youth. A lot of young girls wear camis, so that's a thing.
Is that a term for something? What's a
it's
Cammy?
like
Like a
strap
camisole?
thing.
It's
Still don't know what that
It's
is.
the spaghetti strap tank top thing.
Join us in 2 weeks when I explain
Spaghetti.
women's fashion to Corey on Audio Suplex Live.
We don't. I'm not going to tune in.
Do you know what a bandeau is?
Nope.
Wow, it's two things. In women's fashion, a bandeau is like a bralette, a strapless bralette.
What's a bralette?
A bandeau.
In trap music, it is an abandoned house where you store drugs and money.
Yeah, so you got a bando,
And a
and you
bando.
have a bandeau.
Okay.
Yes.
You got a
I learned something
the
new every
French
day.
word, yeah.
I'm going to use that in trivia. You got to give me these for trivia when I'm hosting. What is a bando in terms of
Trap
drugs?
music or
in trap music? What is a bando? Yeah.
this is an interesting match.
Let me book it.
Go.
So they've been so KO's got a back injury.
Yeah.
So they sold his leg as an injury on SmackDown. So AJ had it locked in, wouldn't break the hold. So he's got an injured leg, right? So the whole match, we're going to have Sammy taking on AJ Styles. What are you doing? Snapchatting?
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. Okay.
You can't be here past 2 p.m. So
Exactly.
My
I
Snapchat's
don't have to-
holding him up.
So what happens is
What I eat
Sammy
doesn't make
wrestles
you
the
shit.
whole match with AJ, right? Sammy and AJ put on a great match. At the end, KO maybe tags himself in, and then he taps out to AJ Styles and cost him and Sammy.
I think in some capacity, this is setting up for an inevitable Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match at Mania.
Potentially, it's gonna be a seed for a split. The split's not happening. You know, maybe it'll happen right before Mania, or maybe even after Mania. Could be a SummerSlam program.
I'm really intrigued because
I'm interested to see how Dan Bryan and Shane McMahon factor into this.
WWE has never done a co-champion angle like this before, and I would be really interested to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as co-WWE.
you already have the diminished value that is the Universal title. Are we really going to try to diminish the value that is the titular WWE World Heavyweight title?
I mean, Vince McMahon held it once before. I mean, it's a prop. It's a prop to help advance storylines. Jinder Mahal held the title for damn near
Jinder
a
Mahal's
year.
great.
I'm just saying, it's not like it's gonna hurt the belt to have two premier wrestlers in a very hot angle involving the son of the owner of the company and one of the most popular wrestlers of all time as the two faces of that brand for a couple of months while they flesh out a storyline at Mania.
All right, can Kevin
So how
Owens
does
ever
they
have
defend
friends
it?
going in?
How do they defend it?
Is it a handicap match every time?
Freebird rules?
There,
I would imagine
Sammy,
Freebird
go.
rules.
Let's go. And then Sammy goes to the ring and does his
Then, so what you're saying? So is that what you're saying is going to happen? Because
I'm not saying that's going to happen.
So
I'm just
who's
saying
winning the Rumble then? Because if that's
that belt can go back to AJ at any time between now and April, and it'll be fine. You still have your AJ Nakamura or whatever you guys want to book for the Rumble. You can get that back and then have a blood feud between, oh my God, Sammy, you lost the belt to AJ. We were doing so well as co-champions. Now I'm gonna fight you at WrestleMania.
One of the forms of management
it just feels
are gonna
just like
interfere.
this already happened with Jericho.
That's
They
what I'm
refer
saying.
to themselves as the Universal Champion
That's what I'm-
and the U.S. Champion.
And that's why I just made that little quiet remark. I was like, can Kevin Owens ever have friends going into Mania?
exactly.
No,
like
it's
we
not.
did this already. So
It's just a
I'm
rehab.
thinking
I don't think he
management
should win.
interferes and it goes into a way that AJ retains.
and that could be,
That's it.
you know, Shane puts his foot down. No, AJ wins. You know, blah blah blah. And that's another thing where Dan Bryan's like, well, you're kind of being too authoritative.
That's future
or whatever.
Royal Rumble winner Daniel Bryan, by the way. Man,
I got a great thing for the men's Rumble.
Well, let's
I'm
get
saying
to it.
AJ wins. You're saying possibly a KO Sammy win.
fortune favors the bold. KO Sammy. Let's
Okay.
go.
And
Co-champions.
you're going AJ.
Co-champions. Let's go.
Brock, Strowman, Kane. Brock wins.
Brock wins.
he
Kane
pin
takes
Kane?
the pin. Strowman looks great.
Strowman gets upset that he did all the work on Kane and Brock. I don't know how they do
You
that.
don't really.
It's got to end with an F5. It has to.
Yeah, and Kane's eating that F5.
So maybe he F5s Strowman and then Kane and then pins Kane.
Yeah.
Or he goes to pin. Oh, no, he can't.
There's a number of
Strowman
ways.
can't kick out.
Brock is 100%. I would love to see If he can flip over a truck, why can't he kick out of an F5?
Yeah.
The strength levels of Braun Strowman are so inconsistently booked, it's insane.
It's a roller coaster for sure.
It's a roller coaster. It's like
F5 Strowman, he kicks out.
his one kryptonite being spun around and then landing on his tummy. That's the one way you can defeat Braun Strowman.
Oh, his little tummy hurts.
You know when you're like doing a boss battle in a video game, they have that one weak spot. Braun Strowman's tummy is his weak spot. If you tickle him during a match or you land him on his tummy during an F5, done. You hit him with a flapjack, done.
Perfect.
Chair to the gut, done.
His 2K body is like the worst. Just instant red.
Green, red. Like that's it.
So we're all going Brock.
Yes. Come on.
It hurts to say.
It doesn't hurt to say.
Like a month
it
ago,
does hurt to say.
It
In Strowman's
does not.
time, it's been too long.
A month
And
ago, I
agree.
said Kane was going to win
You're-
for one day.
You're high.
As
Kane
a
wins.
kite. As a kite.
Strowman hits, Lesnar's F5 is super strong, right? No one kicks out of it. No one kicks out of it, right? That's how they've been booking it. Brock hits the F5 on Strowman. Kane throws Brock out of the ring, pins
We
Strowman
lost him.
for the belt,
He's gone.
for the world title, just like he did the first time he won the belt in a triple threat match.
Kane has no...
Undertaker, Kane, and Stone Cold. The next night on Raw, Stone Cold had a rematch and won his belt back. So on Monday night, Heyman comes out. This is ridiculous.
You think Brock can be
Brock
bothered to
didn't
come
lose
2
that
times
belt.
in January?
Brock wins the belt on Raw. You have a huge main event of Raw, Brock Lesnar versus Kane for the Universal title. First time the Universal title has ever been defended on Monday Night Raw.
And you want to talk about Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn diminishing the value of a
Just
title.
saying.
Come on.
Kane is a multi-time world
He's
champion.
a 50-year-old future governor. Like he's literally there for one purpose, and that is to...
He's not 50 yet, and it's mayor,
He's there for
not governor.
He's there for 2 purposes: to not have pyro during his entrance, which is a criminal act in and of
it's
itself,
very weird.
and then to take the pin. He's literally there to eat the pin.
He's Raw's dog.
I'll say Brock's winning, but if Kane wins and it plays out how I just said, then
If it plays out the way that you just booked it, I will buy you a bottle of your choice.
perfect.
A gentleman's agreement.
We saw it here, folks.
Okay.
It's going down.
If it gets booked that way, all in, dude.
Let's book it. Let's book the Rumble now.
So wait, does that book? Wait, so terms and conditions on this. If it gets booked that way, his way also included a Monday Night Raw. So we're not knowing what's happening.
Yeah, no, we have to know.
That's
It has to
included.
be over 2 nights.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
included.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the
He
whole
loses
shebang.
the belt on Monday. Yeah, that's
whole shebang.
Everything I said.
You're a fool,
No,
but
I'm
I
not.
love
He
you.
wants the biggest bottle of bullet ever.
I'm just
Whatever.
saying,
Within reason. Don't
WWE
get, I'm not
likes
buying
to
you like a
surprise
$70 bottle
people.
or something. You know,
when there's certain things that are a lock,
he's gonna pick that like
Vince is not a
$1,200
fan
scotch
of.
from-
Vince is not a fan of something leaking out and it, his surprise being ruined or his booking being messed up. So he's willing to do crazy stuff sometimes.
like bring back the XFL.
Exactly, just to see what the pop is.
Nobody's gonna pop for
Okay,
Kane winning
Rumble.
the belt.
What do you have any fantasy booking ideas for the Rumble? How you would do it? What do you think would be a cool, maybe number 1 entry, number 30 entry? Here's how I would do the number 30 entry. We don't see Dolph all night. Dolph is number 30, but he's doing the gimmick he did a couple months ago where he comes out to other people's music. Dan Bryan's music hits. Number 30. The crowd goes nuts.
As much as I
And
would
it's Dolph
love-
Ziggler, and he comes out and wins the Rumble. Super mega heel. Everybody hates him for that.
Give me that, but
That's-
replace Dolph Ziggler with The Miz, and I will be.
The Miz is not going to come out to Dan Bryan. Oh, he
Would
cried.
come
yeah,
out to
he
Daniel
would.
Bryan's music.
He would.
Oh, he would
And
come
the
out
Miz
to Daniel
wins
Bryan's
the
music.
Rumble.
That
He's
is-
the Intercontinental Champion.
For the record, The Miz is my underdog to win.
He's your dark horse
He's
pick?
my dark horse pick to win the men's Rumble.
Dolph is my dark horse.
And both great picks. I'll concede that. I think Dolph would returning in the Rumble to say like, no, this is where I need to be would be a
Right.
great way to do it. But the Miz, that's such a good storyline right there, especially if he trolls and comes out to the Dan Bryan's music. I don't think we're gonna have a ton of surprises. There's nobody really.
There's only room for a couple.
You'll have a handful of like your Pete Dunnes. I do think there will be 1 or 2 major surprise entrants this year.
Taker?
No, Taker's not entering the Rumble. 1, I think we're going to see Batista make a return.
Wow.
I think that would be a huge pop. I think it's been long enough. I think there's interest there between him and WWE.
Hopefully it's
he has
earlier
been
in the
spotted
Rumble.
in Philadelphia this week.
Hopefully earlier than 30 or 28 or 29.
I could see him being like a nice little 20. 19, 20.
That would
somewhere
I'd
in
be all
range.
right with because I don't.
I'd pop.
I wouldn't. A guy that I don't want to win the Rumble should not be one of those last picks.
I'd pop. And then Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan would be a good surprise entrant.
What's his reasoning to join the Rumble? What's the storyline behind it? There is none.
AJ.
No reason.
AJ
You beef with AJ over this whole weird
AJ
thing on
retains.
SmackDown.
AJ
Like
retains.
AJ and AJ pushes. AJ's a good guy.
Yeah, but Daniel Bryan has been underhandedly trying to get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn into the picture.
Yeah, he's been tweening a little.
Yeah, he's been tweening a little bit there.
But
buddy.
AJ wouldn't attack Dan, which would be the only way that would make sense. I
Daniel Bryan says, okay, if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn can't do it, I'll do it myself. Puts himself in the Rumble, and then we're off to the races. And then you have a main event of AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan at the Rumble, or at the at WrestleMania.
At wrestling
In the building that Daniel Bryan beat Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista in one night to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. My God. It's almost prophetic.
Wow.
You can feel it.
Wow.
Goosebumps.
It's
I say Shinsuke's winning.
There's 1,000
Dolph's
different...
my back up.
You know what? I don't buy this Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think that's a big swerve that they're going to do. Everyone's saying it's Shinsuke.
Everybody's
Everywhere
saying
you
it's
look,
Shinsuke.
it's Shinsuke.
Does anybody really care about Shinsuke
I don't.
Nakamura on SmackDown?
No.
No.
He's a great wrestler, but
Does anybody outside of like New Japan Smarks want to see AJ versus Shinsuke at Mania?
It'll be
I
a
know
great
Vince,
match.
It'll be a great match, but WrestleMania isn't about great matches. It's about what's going to get the biggest moment. And Daniel,
Money.
yeah, it's all about
Shareholders.
most money.
it's all about this, my guy. And Vince
it's a
McMahon does not look at
publicly
Shinsuke.
So who are you
Nakamura.
saying is winning? Who's your number one then? If
See
it's
that,
not
and this is what I was
Shinsuke,
bemoaning
mean,
earlier with the women's
Randy
Rumble.
Orton again?
This is what I was bemoaning earlier with the women's Rumble. This is so hard to book because you have so many people in the men's Rumble that could win it. If Strowman makes his way back into there somewhere, a la
possible.
Roman Reigns did last year at number 30 or something like that. Strowman would be a great number 30. Oh my God, you put him out at 30, that music hits, that crowd's going to pop crazy.
What if right before 30 the ring is full? Like no one's been eliminated for a while. Not 30 guys in there, but I'm saying like maybe 10 guys still in the ring.
I was talking about this earlier. You know what kind of Rumble I want to see booked? I want to see a Rumble booked where everybody who comes out is like a house on fire with the intent of winning the Rumble. None of these comedy spots where it's like, oh, this
Yeah.
like Santino Morello is coming out and he's going to be thrown right back over.
Right, right.
Those have a place and everything like that. I want to see everybody come into this and be like,
I want a world title shot.
yes,
Yeah, that's
everybody. That's the way it should be. Like that's what gets you involved from the
You
competitive.
don't want to
nature.
put those jobbers in there
Yeah.
to take a spot from.
And this is a good year to have. There's so little jobbers. I think you're going to have some people that
you think
year.
James Ellsworth is going to be in the women's Rumble?
I thought about that actually. That
Kurt Hawkins
wins the Rumble.
What if Ellsworth comes out
breaks the streak.
for the men's Rumble?
He's my dark horse for the Iron Man, for having him go like if
Who?
Kurt Hawkins comes out on number 2, and then goes like
And almost wins it?
and goes to like the final 4, I would lose my mind.
That would be so good.
I would lose it.
People would get behind him. People would start cheering for Hawkins.
If you put a gun in my head and said I had to pick one to win the men's Rumble, I would probably say Shinsuke Nakamura because it's the popular choice, and I'm a sheep, and I just follow whatever the internet says. But there are so many choices. If Batista's in it, there's a choice right there. The Miz is a dark horse choice.
I don't think
Daniel
Batista
Bryan
will
would be a dark horse choice. You can never count Roman Reigns out of winning the Rumble. You know,
He's like in the top bettings.
yeah, or Brock Lesnar enters after he loses the belt to Kane for whatever reason, and then Reigns beats Kane for the belt sometime between now and then it sets up.
So wait, Roman's not in a match.
He's in the Rumble,
He's just in the Rumble. He's not in a match before that.
correct?
Yeah, he's not rematching or anything.
Because I know a couple of those people that are in the matches earlier are definitely going to be in the Rumble.
There's a lot of choices. There's a lot of picks that you could say have a chance to win the Rumble. I put a gun in my head. I'll say Shinsuke Nakamura, because I would love to see that match at WrestleMania. But
And you got Miz.
the Miz would be my
Miz
dark
taking
horse.
on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
That would be fantastic.
It would make more sense for Kane to win the belt and then face the Miz at WrestleMania.
He will burn down Suplex City and over it build Disneyland. Rumble 2016, baby. That was my favorite line. Disneyland.
I do remember that.
So good.
205 Live Commissioner. Anybody got any guesses?
Who's your pick for a Rumble winner?
Shinsuke. Dolph's my backup.
Boring Reigns.
Boring Reigns. Who's your dark
pick.
horse? Kurt Hawkins.
And it can't be Shinsuke because that's not a dark horse pick.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
Man, what is he doing right now?
They have mentioned more than once that he won it last year, and the only Stone Cold has ever won two in a row. Him and Shawn Michaels or something have won two in a row, and Randy could do it this year. They did say that on TV.
100% not going to happen.
So,
unless you promise me that we got a really good CGI match between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton again at Mania.
Well,
oh my god, that was
so people in the men's rumble that haven't been announced that you guys are thinking of good.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, I think, is a lock.
Dolph possibly.
Dolph Ziggler.
I don't know.
William Regal.
No.
It is in Philly though, so you can never discount any.
Tommy Dreamer.
I said Tommy Dreamer.
Not RVD. He cannot be cleared.
No, Tommy Dreamer is always a good pop in Philly.
Tommy Dreamer would be a good one. He's a writer for Impact right now.
You do have the Dudleys back in the fold as well. So the Dudleys could, even just one of them.
They were both on Raw 25. I don't think
Sabu maybe
they would get as big of a pop.
Can any of those people get cleared either?
I think Tommy Dreamer is going to be your best bet for. Taz would be an interesting one.
Ooh, I would love to see Taz.
Haven't seen Taz in a WWE ring in a long time.
Bobby Lashley.
Let's go.
He is under contract till February.
Ethan Carter III.
Yeah.
I thought that, but then when he showed up on NXT last night, I'm like, well, I guess he's not going to be in the Rumble.
He was NXT.
It's WWE EC3. Yeah. Let's go.
WWE EC3.
So, yeah, I don't know. The men's Rumble is a mess to me this year. I don't know what they're going to do.
Remember last year we put up so much hype for this one, or for last year's, and last year's left us very underwhelmed because we didn't have any of those moments.
I don't think
a very run of the mill.
WWE is good to have 2 lackluster Rumbles in a row and then a really good one.
They haven't had a good one in like 5-6 years.
The 2016 was pretty solid. I liked 2016
Who won?
A lot. Triple H. He won the title.
And that was the AJ one too.
Yeah, that's the one where AJ debuted. Okay. It was a great Rumble.
Yeah, that was a solid one.
Well, they've had 2 bad ones. No.
The one bad one. And then the 2 previous to that were the 2 bad ones with Roman winning in Philly and Roman winning in whatever. Last year was like Randy Orton type.
205 Live Commissioner.
Clippy.
I would like to see Rey Mysterio.
Raven. Canyon. He's dead, but so is 205 Live. I don't know. There was talks of Billy Kidman. He's already employed by WWE. He could kind of come back.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that idea.
Tori Wilson's been around. Bring her in.
They said he or she.
He or she. Oh, a female commissioner.
Dan Bryan said whoever he or she is, and I'm like, a female.
Who gave Dan Bryan the authority?
Vicky Guerrero.
I would throw myself from Joe's roof.
Excuse me.
Although an angle between Vicky Guerrero and Drew Gulak would be everything I've ever wanted and more.
He could be her advisor.
Yes. Dana Brooke.
David Otunga.
She's got a clipboard.
David Otunga.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think there's any really good answers.
I think a former
Nigel McGuinness would be an interesting pick.
A former cruiserweight, somebody who has like connections to the cruiserweight division would be a good pick. Mauro Ranallo, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe Dan Bryan gets demoted to 205 GM.
Shane McMahon fires him. You're now in charge of.
You are worse than fired.
Handle my lightweight.
You're worse than fired. You're the 205 Live general manager.
Christ. We can get people to watch 205 Live finally.
Maybe.
People love Dan Bryan.
Yeah.
You could put him on like Home Shopping Network at 3 a.m. I'm tuning in.
Lita would be interesting.
That would be. I actually was thinking that. That was mulling around in the old.
That would be a good female guess.
Although
we'll
her mic skills have always been subpar at best.
Yeah. All right, my final section of the show I'd like to talk about. If you have anything else you want to add, we can. But All In.
Yes, the Cody
Bullet
Rhodes,
Club
pay-per-view,
which I don't know if
NWO sold out.
Yeah. So my question I posed to Travis, I think you were not here for this question.
It was draining the lizard.
it's a fantasy booking, okay? Let's theoretically say they get CM Punk to wrestle a match.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you book to wrestle CM Punk? Now you can do
Is
one.
this confirmed to be in Chicago?
No.
Okay.
Theoretically in Chicago. Theoretically CM Punk. Who's he facing? You can do one realistic. They could potentially get this wrestler.
Are they pulling ROH?
And then you can do ROH. You can do
gotta
anybody.
Or are they just like
You gotta
indie
figure-
pockets because they're...
You got to figure it's going to be somebody that's not signed to WWE, obviously.
Oh, right.
As
But
a
I mean,
realistic pick.
I'm-
If you want to do your
I don't know who their indie connections are. And I don't know a whole bunch
Everybody.
of indie people. Like CM Punk versus Joey Ryan. Like, what the
Sure.
fuck?
No.
Okay, then who would you could pick anybody. Anyone on the planet. Who would you pick to wrestle CM Punk?
At a bull.
Damn.
At this Bullet Club Chicago show, 10,000 seat.
Dang. That's a really good question.
I didn't tell you who I would pick.
I gave him two choices. I had a realistic pick, which the money is Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega is the biggest name not in WWE
Wouldn't it be
right
him
now.
versus Cody Rhodes after what happened?
Depends on when All In is. It's in September, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have plenty of
That's
time.
pretty far away.
Yeah, they have plenty of time to hash out that feud between now and then.
It's
So
also my birthday month, and I'm trying to really watch out for them tickets, dog.
Kenny Omega versus CM Punk would be huge.
Yes.
It would be the biggest thing
For sure.
to happen in wrestling since like Jericho Omega. You put Omega in there with anybody and it's going to be huge. So that would be my realistic choice.
CM.
Daniel Bryan. If his contract isn't renewed by WWE and he's not
be
clear
huge.
to wrestle, that would be the perfect way to get him back into the indie wrestling fray. Bryan Danielson comes out as a surprise, or they just hype it
Like
up.
they don't. They like we're not going to tell
That'd
you
be
who his
huge.
opponent
No,
is.
you would
Totally
want to
wouldn't
announce that ahead of time.
For
'cause
Dan
that's-
Bryan, yes. For mine, you don't want to.
you don't want to.
No.
Hulk Hogan.
No, mine is okay. So it's the night of the show. Maybe they don't even know CM Punk's going to wrestle. And he comes out and opens a challenge. Before I tell you who it is, he's going to CM Punk wins the match. His opponent is John Cena. John Cena comes out for that match as the heel in Chicago against CM Punk,
Obviously.
essentially. But what I would do for
huge.
John Cena is about now is have him. He does these Instagram pictures. So a very, 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 very light hint. Maybe there's something in the background that says All In, or maybe I wouldn't do a straight up picture of CM Punk, but something like that where
a
it's
video of somebody pushing in some chips.
sure, I don't know.
All their chips.
But like
It's
a little,
a silent video of
just a
him playing
one
poker.
tease, and that's it. They don't say anything, and then the night of, CM Punk's waiting, and you hear John Cena's music hit.
So now, isn't that you being unrealistic?
Yeah, that's an unrealistic.
Okay, I was gonna say if you had
Yes.
a real one, what would it be?
Probably Kota Ibushi.
I was thinking Naito.
Tetsuya Naito would be very good. I would like that as well.
I was just saying.
Kazuchika
CM Punk
Okada.
says he's the best in the world.
Oh man, Okada.
Okada Punk?
You have the man who says he's the best in the world against arguably the best in the world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have CM Punk lose that match.
And Okada reigns forever. He's fantastic. So this has been our Royal Rumble preview
Royaling
special.
rumbling.
Are you feeling royally rumbled?
You know what? I'm ready for more Rumble than ever.
Yeah.
It's very
more rumble than ever. Just two rumbles, if you will.
They should have done a cruiserweight Rumble.
Join us next year when we break down the 30-team tag team Royal Rumble.
the first ever inaugural
8-hour-long show. Jesus
tag
Christ.
team Royal Rumble.
At that point, I stopped.
Well, at that point, there would be no other matches on the card because
Just
every woman would
Rumble,
be in a match,
Rumble,
every
Rumble.
every tag team would be in a match, and every single superstar would be in a match.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, that men's Rumble it's a grab bag, buddy.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's just really like.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, there's a lot of. This is going to happen. Shinsei's going to win. Rousey or Asuka's going to win. Like those are locks, but really they're not. It really could go any way.
Let's send this one home real quick.
Okay.
So we have every Monday night, not this coming Monday night because the Beer
Not
Stew
tomorrow.
is doing their Christmas party in January inexplicably. Which is
I just was at Imagination Station's Christmas party
how
last
was
night.
it, by the way?
It was fun.
Was it good?
Yeah.
We were talking about that. Me and the lady friend were talking about how we imagined that Imagination Station's Christmas party would be like.
It was pretty sweet. Yeah, it was all right. I don't want to talk too much personal details, but it was fun.
Oh,
And they
that
had-
kind of party, huh?
No,
Woo.
I don't work there, so I don't want to talk about.
The kind where they put the plastic wrap.
They
over
had
the
me
walls
host
and
trivia,
everything, you know what I
and they
mean?
had fun.
Dexter once.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you gotta use your imagination.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The imagination station.
He's good for one every show, everybody.
That's it.
Yeah, so inexplicably this week you guys are having the Beer Stube Christmas party. So not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that we will be back at the Beer Stube for Monday night Stube. We'll have Raw on
For
the
every
screens. Yes. We had a great turnout for Raw 25. I would like to see some of these people make a return. If you were listening to this, tell your friends. Tell people that you don't even know. Come out to the Beer Stube on Monday nights if you're in the
Monroe
Greater
Street
Toledo
near the mall.
Yeah, come out and watch Monday Night Raw with us and drink adult beverages and watch some pro graps. We also will probably be back in like 2 weeks. You want to say?
Well, we'll see.
We'll plan
Probably
it out.
about 2 weeks. Also, we're doing a Madden tournament during Monday night coming up in probably the end of February.
Okay, that'd be really fun.
So we'll post about that.
Nice. At that point in time, the Philadelphia Eagles will be Super Bowl champions, so I will be
And
participating.
you can relive everything that was supposed to happen.
I hate
Maybe
you.
the Browns can get a win
No,
that night.
settle down. It's a video game, not like a fantasy machine.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, let's do it. I gotta go.
Yep. Let's get out of here. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you. Hope have a good Rumble, everybody, tonight. Cien.
Alidolo!
And
All
let's
right,
get out
XC
of here.
champion. See you later.
Joe, play us out.
Hey, this is Joe, producer of Audio Suplex Live. We'd like to give a shout out to the band Wax for our intro and outro music. Make sure you check them out at the link below.
You've been listening to the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.